some of the things that you can adjust, and I'm going to crouch down so you can see easier. Power button on or off. So this is, once you plug it in, this gives you power to the control panel. I have a temperature controller where I can select the temperature I want to operate at. So again, if I'm running at least 120, I'm in good shape. If I'm doing a little more metal componentry, I'd probably go to 130. If I'm doing the helmets, I'd like to be about 125, but it'll do it at 120. And the way you adjust it is basically very simple. You have an up and a down arrow key. So I can raise this up or I can raise this down. I'm going to just set it back to 130. The key is, once you've adjusted the temperature, you have to hit the reset button or the enter button, which basically looks like the enter button on a computer keyboard. And you'll notice that this has a blinking digit. Depending on the temp controller we're using, we might get a lighter colored green where the entire display flashes, but once you hit the enter button, it locks it in. So that's how I set my temperature. To set how long I'm going to leave something operating, I'm going to adjust these 4 buttons. So this first digit controls seconds. The second digit to the left controls tens of seconds. The next digit to the left controls minutes. And then I have tens of minutes. So for most of what we're cleaning, we're talking minutes to clean. So a helmet, we're going to run 3 to 6 minutes depending on how bad the helmet is. If you haven't had a machine yet in your facility and you get a machine in, typically your gear is going to be pretty dirty. But because this is so easy, what will happen is your personnel will start washing their gear a lot more often, and so the gear doesn't get as dirty. So if it's not as dirty, you don't need as much timing. So that's part of the benefit because it's so easy. So typically, I'm going to set this. I'm going to go ahead and set this for 6 minutes. And there we go. So we're set at 6 minutes. So what happens is when I activate the ultrasound, after 6 minutes, it's going to turn off automatically. If you leave a helmet in too long, you're not going to hurt anything. But it's just so that if you're trying to get a lot of processing done, it just speeds the processing up. It acts as more like your traffic cop, your time manager. One of the things we've done differently to this machine for your industry is we made this a keyed lock so that nobody in the station except for the people authorized to use the machine have the key. So you can't just walk up and activate the ultrasound. You can activate the heat, you can activate the filtration, but if whoever is running the machine, they'll have basically 2 keys. And that allows you to activate the ultrasound. And I'm going to go ahead and activate it, and you're going to hear what it sounds like. And then you can reset it at any time. So the machine does have an audible sound. We'll go ahead and lift the lid for me. And now I'm going to just run it again for a few seconds with the lid open. It's going to sound a little bit louder. But typically when you are utilizing the equipment, you're going to load your baskets. You're going to put the baskets into the tank, close the lid, and then you'll set your timer and activate the ultrasound. So it does make a noise, but it isn't so obtrusive that you can't operate in the fire station, as long as you keep the lid closed. All of these machines work the same. They all have the same. Now this Pro Light does not have filtration. So it's a smaller bath, 25 gallons, does not have filtration, so it is missing this control. The other 2 machines are identical in terms of the operation, the filtration, and these first 2 machines work at 208 to 220 volt AC and single phase, and then this smaller Pro Light is a 120 volt machine. It could be built as a 120. Technically, all of these machines could be built as 120. They just would have to be special ordered.